Hey guys, it's Amy. I'm back. And I'm going to be remaking my suicide video. I'm going to be making a coming out video. And this is just going to be a bunch of them bundled up in my life story. So, here we go. When I was around, my life started on March 30th, 2004 at 12:30 p.m. And that's when things started going wrong. My dad was in the Navy for a few years after I was born. Maybe he got out when I was around 2 to take care of me and my brother. And my dad, my dad didn't have such a good dad, so he was a really good dad to me and my sister and my brother. When I was around 5 or 6, my life took a turn for the worse. My brother died. My mother died before my brother when I was really little. I can still remember her very fondly, and I remember her vividly. But the way I lost her is the part that got me. She decided that since she was back into drugs and alcohol, it was a good idea to kill herself. I don't know how she did it. I don't know if she overdosed on drugs. I don't know if she hung herself. I don't want to know, quite frankly. And I feel like it was sort of my fault because I was never really a good child. I would always get into trouble, and I was just overall a bad kid. And then a few months later, I was blessed with a baby brother. I had always wanted a baby brother. I'd always wanted a younger sibling besides my sister. And when I got one, I was so happy. I tried to cuddle with him a lot. I held him a lot, but he was only in our house for 3 days. He was born on Christmas Eve at 12:30. He died on New Year's Day. You see how young he was? He was barely a few weeks old. And now Christmases are super hard for me, and I cry halfway through New Year's. And then a few months later, my grandmother died. That hit me so hard, you wouldn't believe it, because I felt like she was the only person that I could talk to, and actually, she was the only person that would actually listen. The bad thing is she lived in California. I only got to see her a few times. And it took a huge toll on me. My life just felt like it was crumbling at my feet. My world was falling apart. I'm sorry. And, fast forward to 4th grade year. I met this really sweet girl named Sophia. And she was smart and funny and beautiful and just everything I wanted in a person. And I started realizing around 4th grade and second semester of 4th grade, I was starting to feel attracted to her. And I started realizing I'm attracted to girls. And I like wearing boys' clothing more than I used to. I started dressing like a boy. I started talking like a guy. I started hanging out with more guys. And I realized around 5th grade year, I was supposed to be a boy. And of course, my dad didn't accept me. He thought since I was born a girl, I was supposed to stay a girl. And my dad's real big into gender roles. I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. It's a nervous tick and it helps me. And yes, you can see a mummy's leg. And a dolphin. But that's just... Okay, let's get back on topic. In 6th grade year, the grade I'm in now, my life completely fell apart. I was always bullied as a kid for being different and, wearing black a lot because I'm goth. And I am transgender. Female to male. I'm also pansexual. That's the coming out part. And I decided in 6th grade the bullying is too much. The being put down is too much. And just overall living is too much. So I went into my dad's bedroom. I went into his bathroom. I went to his medicine cabinet. And I looked and looked for sleeping pills. Or any type of pill that said take before bedtime. Or take at bedtime. Or take if you cannot sleep. I grabbed 3 bottles, all filled to the top. All of them were about the size of this little bag, but like pill bottle shaped. They were about this big. Each of them had about 25 pills in them. And I came to my bedroom, got a water bottle, and I took the pills. I took around 75 pills, more than you need to overdose. Way more. And I put on my prettiest clothing. I laid down in my bed after I told my sister I loved her and told my littlest sister that I loved her. I laid down in my bed and I fell asleep. At around 11, skipped to around 11 o'clock that day. My dad found me. He noticed his pill bottles were missing because he was going to go to bed early. He came to my room. He had to shake me for 5 minutes, slap me 4 times, and do a lot to wake me up. And when I finally woke up, he looked so frightened and so scared, and he had tears in his eyes. My dad is not a person to cry unless something. I don't think I've ever seen my dad cry, but I saw my dad cry that day, and it broke my heart. He asked me if I took the pills. I said no because I didn't want to get in trouble, and I wanted them to work. I told him I was just very tired. And I looked at his hand. The hair in his hand was one of the empty pill bottles. I had hid the other 2 under my bed, and I forgot about the 3rd one. It had been sitting on my dresser. Thank God for that. I don't think I would be here if I hadn't forgotten that pill bottle was on the dresser. I think, and then skip forward 5 minutes. I'm pulling on a different shirt, pulling on the uniform skirt just because I didn't want to go out in the dress that I was wearing. I cried because I couldn't find my shoes. I fell down the stairs because I was so tired. I went to get in the back seat. My dad said, no, get up front. I told him, I want to lay down. He said, no, get in the front seat. I was falling asleep in the car. 5 minutes later, we're at Southwestern Medical, a hospital. And he's inside. He's frantic. He grabs a wheelchair. I know, I feel old saying that. And he rolls outside. He gets me in the wheelchair. As I'm like falling asleep in the wheelchair doing like this, my dad slaps me because he doesn't want me to go back to sleep. They wheel me into this room and they stick a tube down my throat down my nose from about here to from about here to here. And they filled the tube with charcoal to soak up anything that was in my stomach and get it out. And they put an IV in my neck right here. You can kind of see the discolorment. They tried here, 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 and on my feet to try to find a vein. They finally found one again in my neck. You can kind of see like where it was here. And they put me on one of those, I don't remember what they're called, a gurney, I think? No, not a gurney. And they wheeled me to an ambulance. For the first time in my life, I saw my dad crying because he thought he was going to lose his baby. They gave me 6 adult bags of saline to keep me hydrated. 6. And they wheeled me to a children's medical hospital in Oklahoma City, and I was there for about 3 days. And then as soon as I got out of the hospital, they took me to this mental institution. That's all I'm going to call it. It's called Red Rocks Children's Crisis Unit, and I was the youngest one there for suicidal actions, suicidal thoughts, self-harm thoughts, and self-harming actions. I was there for 10 days. And then they tried to put me in a long-term facility for 12 weeks to 6 months. And they couldn't find one. Hallelujah. I probably wouldn't be making this video if I was in one. And when I got out, I was still suicidal. I still am suicidal. And at school, they call me the transgender freak, the pansexual freak. They call me a transgender. They call me a transgender fuck up, and they call me a lot of things. And I got sick of it. So I was going to try again, and then I found out this girl, Eva, that I likes me back. And I decided, no, I'm not going to do it again. I can't put my family through that. I was going to run away. I almost did until I saw my little sister in the kitchen wondering where I am. And that's basically the story of my life. My name is Amy Ann Burns. I'm 12 years old. I survived my suicide attempt. I'm transgender and I'm pansexual. And that is my story. Bye, guys.